A derelict house stands alone in a forgotten part of town, hiding a chilling secret. This isn't just any house. It's an edifice of mystery and dread, a skeletal structure that echoes tales of the supernatural. Its windows, like hollow eyes, stare vacantly into the world, and its weather-beaten walls whisper of decades of neglect. Nestled in an eerie silence, the house is shrouded in a mantle of rumors. Whispers of it being haunted float on the breeze as the locals avoid it like the plague. Stories of spectral apparitions, eerie sounds, and strange happenings have woven a tapestry of fear and intrigue around this forsaken place. One brave, or perhaps foolish, urban explorer decided to challenge these rumors. Armed with nothing but a flashlight and a thirst for adventure, he ventured into the heart of this decrepit dwelling. Its creaking doors reluctantly opened, as if they had not done so in years, revealing a world trapped in a bygone era. As he navigated through the musty, cobweb-laden rooms, strange things began to occur. The silence was broken by unexplained noises. The air grew cold, and he could feel the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. He could swear he saw shadows move in the corners of his eyes, yet when he turned, there was nothing. Then, the doors began to slam shut on their own. The sound reverberated through the silence like a gunshot, each slam a terrifying punctuation in this tale of fear. He could feel his heart pounding in his chest, his courage waning with each passing moment. The house, it seemed, was not as abandoned as it appeared. He could feel an unseen presence, a spectral force that seemed to permeate the very walls of the house. Was this the source of the rumors? Was this the chilling secret the house hid within its time-worn walls? He didn't stick around to find out. Fear gripped him, and he fled, leaving the house and its mysteries behind. As the explorer fled the house, he swore to never return, forever haunted by what he had experienced. And so the derelict house stands alone, still hiding its chilling secret, waiting for the next brave soul to dare to uncover its mysteries. A desolate road stretching for miles, no soul in sight except for a lone traveler. Imagine the scene. A road, barren and forlorn, winding its way through the darkness of the night. Its reputation precedes it, whispered in hushed tones by the local folks. They speak of strange happenings, of spectral figures and eerie noises that send shivers down the spine. This road, my friends, is not for the faint of heart. But let's turn our focus to the lone traveler. A solitary figure driving late into the night, headlights slicing through the darkness like a beacon, the only light for miles around. The traveler, let's call him Mark, is a skeptic, a man of reason who brushes off tales of the supernatural as mere superstition. But little does he know, his beliefs are about to be challenged. The car's radio crackles, the monotonous hum of the engine, the only other sound. Suddenly, in the glow of the headlights, a figure comes into view. A hitchhiker standing by the side of the road, thumb extended in the universal symbol of request. Mark slows down, the figure's desperate appearance tugging at his heartstrings. He pulls over, and the hitchhiker climbs in, exhaling a sigh of relief. The hitchhiker, a woman, is cloaked in an aura of sadness. She speaks little, only mentioning that she needs to get to the next town. Mark nods, a sense of unease creeping into his gut, but he shrugs it off, focusing on the road ahead. They drive in silence. The only sound is the steady rhythm of the tires on the asphalt. Suddenly, Mark feels a cold gust of wind. He turns to ask the woman if she's cold, but the seat beside him is empty. The hitchhiker is gone, vanished without a trace. He pulls over, his heart pounding in his chest. He searches the car but finds no sign of the woman. The passenger seat is as cold as ice, a chilling reminder of the spectral passenger. Mark sits back in his seat, his mind racing. He remembers the tales of the lonely road, the ghostly figures that haunt it. He realizes he's become part of the lore, a witness to the supernatural. Fear grips him, but he musters the courage to continue on. He drives through the night, every shadow causing him to flinch, every noise making his heart skip a beat. And so the legend of the lonely road grows, a chilling tale of a spectral hitchhiker who left a lone traveler questioning his beliefs. Mark's encounter with the unknown, forever etched in his memory, a haunting reminder of the eerie occurrences on that desolate road. The traveler continued on, forever marked by the ghostly encounter on the lonely road. A forgotten graveyard, overgrown and uncared for, a place of rest for the departed, but not all are at peace. Imagine, if you will, a place where time stands still. An old graveyard, half hidden by tangled vines and thorny brambles. This is not a place where the living come to pay their respects. No, this is a forgotten realm, shrouded in an eerie silence, broken only by the rustling wind and the occasional hoot of an owl. The gravestones, weathered by the elements, bear the names of those long gone, their stories lost in the passage of time. Rumors have swirled around this old burial ground for generations. Whispers of ghostly apparitions, disembodied voices, and a chilling presence that hangs heavily in the air. The graveyard has become a place of legend, a test of courage for the brave or perhaps foolish. Our tale begins with a group of teenagers, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and adrenaline. A dare had been thrown down, a challenge to spend a night in the forgotten graveyard. Armed with only flashlights and their bravado, they ventured into the gloom, their laughter echoing eerily amongst the tombstones. As the hours wore on, their merriment began to fade. The graveyard was not as empty as it first appeared. The silence was deceptive. There was a sense of being watched, a feeling of unease that crept up their spines and caused the hairs on the back of their necks to stand on end. A cold wind blew, bringing with it the faintest whisper of names that matched those etched on the crumbling gravestones. One by one, the teens began to experience odd occurrences. A touch, light as a feather, brushing against their skin. A fleeting shadow seen from the corner of their eyes. A scent of roses in the air where no roses grew. They could no longer deny the reality. The graveyard was not abandoned. It was inhabited by unseen entities, spirits of the departed, disturbed by the presence of the living. Panic set in. The bravado that had fueled their adventure was replaced by primal fear. They were not alone in the graveyard. The laughter and jests were replaced by terrified whispers and hurried footsteps. The dare was forgotten, replaced by a single unified desire to escape the confines of the graveyard. As the first light of dawn began to peek over the horizon, the teenagers fled, leaving behind the forgotten graveyard and its spectral inhabitants. Their night of adventure had turned into a night of terror, a chilling reminder that some places, some stories, are best left undisturbed. The teenagers ran from the graveyard, vowing to never disturb the forgotten graves again. Our journey through these chilling tales ends here, but the echoes of these stories linger. We began our journey with the abandoned house, a decaying relic of a forgotten era, a silent witness of a tale that sent shivers down our spines. A story that unfolded in its shadowy corners and creaky stairways, where the protagonist found themselves trapped in a dance with the unknown. The eerie silence of the house, broken only by the whispers of the past, created an atmosphere that was as chilling as it was captivating. The tale of the abandoned house, although concluded, continues to cast a cold shadow on those who dare to remember it. From the unsettling quiet of the abandoned house, we traveled to the lonely road. Here, amid the desolate landscape and under a sky devoid of stars, another tale of horror took place. The protagonist, alone in their car, found themselves in a terrifying encounter that would forever alter their perception of solitude. The chilling story of the lonely road serves as a stark reminder that even in the most desolate of places, we are never truly alone. Our final stop was the forgotten graveyard where the past and present collided in a horrifying spectacle. The protagonist, drawn to this place by an inexplicable force, was confronted by entities that refused to rest. The forgotten graveyard, with its ancient tombstones and chilling breezes, was the stage for a story that blurred the lines between the living and the dead, leaving a haunting impression on those who dared to venture there. Each story, unique in its horror, has left an indelible mark. They serve as eerie reminders of the unknown forces that lurk in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. As we conclude this journey, these tales of terror continue to echo in our minds, turning the familiar into the unfamiliar, the safe into the unsafe. Remember, when you find yourself all alone, you may not be as alone as you think. Good night. If you dare to sleep,